That's a little bit of Caribbean here, and I quite fancy a rum and cola. That's a little bit of Caribbean here, and I quite fancy a rum and cola. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's just one of my personal little favourites. We'll move on to something a little bit better than that.
Side Duncan Wilson, Jamie Lee Lupton, who seem to have been around the sport for years, are about ready to get rolling. They are from Waitotra and Waverley. Lethal Injection on the pits now, waiting for the start line. Cavey will take us through it as that 410-inch Chevy pushes this team around this beautiful track here at Waitara.
Yeah, Duncan Wilson now under starters orders and away. Up the Mickelson Transport front straight around into the big speed bowl up there at the top of Hines. Now past NZ. Coming into the inside, into the hairpin. You can hear the change of note on the engine. Setting himself up for that hairpin and just easing it off like Duncan Wilson. Just not going as hard as we know. But then again, he probably knows that he's posted a fast enough time to be able to progress into the top 12. And from there it gets to sudden death. He's been around many years. So he knows that he doesn't, you can't win a race by throwing the boat out in qualifying round number 4. Got a little bit of a porpoise going on, a little bit of flipper action.
I love that moment, actually. That was great.
Oh, look.
Bit of a hold-up afterwards, but
there
it was
a
worth
bit
it.
of a hold-up, wasn't there? Yeah. But, you know, look, we don't like to see people get hurt, but we certainly like to see spectacular stuff. All right, Carl Brenswell now coming off the trailer. Maroon 2 is the boat. These guys started their season last year and won Rookies of the Year. And I'll tell you, I've been really impressed with the way that this Hamish Murray and Carl Brenswell have been just applying themselves and just getting better and better. And I think we're going to see another fast, smooth run right here.
They're making their way up the top end of the course now, and that boat just seems to be so far so good. It's sitting absolutely lovely in the water, but you sort of do tend to notice that when the boats get off to a bit of a flyer, but then when we get down to the business end of the lap, they are finding a few bumps and bruises coming across that crosswash, but so far so good. It's a really, really nice and smooth run. Sometimes they have been bumping up the top there, and you get a bit more at this stage of the rotation. And another big one throwing it around. It's very, very bumpy out there. Hanging on for dear life, but crossing the line now. Carl Brenswell with a time of 39.683.
Well,
so be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, the guys are really starting to put some quick times together right there, right now. 39.683. Now, I've just noticed that Baden Gray has come off the ramp there and hasn't got going. So Baden Gray and Kendra Death. Things are not going quite well with that Jet Design package. It's a brand new package. But let's go down to the man right now in the clear view boat right here. Ollie Silverton and Jess Sitt really put one together. I said to Jess, they've got trouble out there at the moment with obviously the grill getting bogged down with weed or something. But I talked to Jess at lunchtime and I said, where did that come from? She said, well, I thought it was a little bit quick. She said, I didn't realise it was bloody quick. So there you go.
Oh, look, she's only a slip of a lady as well, and she said, oh, look, I've lost a little bit of weight. I said, oh, look, yeah, that's fine, but we're going to start not being able to see you, so I'm just sort of asked her if she could lose some for me as well. And you and Wiggy and Jace, you know, maybe we could all get her on our program for her to lose our weight. So they obviously had a bit of an issue off the line, as you heard earlier. If the driver and navigator come off the line and there's a bit of an engine issue or there's something stuck in the jet unit, perhaps they get the opportunity to put the hand up and they get an opportunity for a rerun. But they're not allowed to get halfway around the rotation before they do that. And Mel Clooney, the safety director, has sort of said, yep, no worries at all. We understand that you have a problem. They're back up on the trailer now. You can see them coming up the ramp. So they'll have the crew chiefs and mechanics and go and have a little bit of a look at that. Yep, we can see one of the mechanics straight down into the back of the jet unit there. They're having a bit of a look. So I dare say that that boat will be back on course very shortly. It looks like the Joker's down on the ramp at the moment. That is Andy Ryan. But first we are going to see Novus Autoglass with Cy Gibbon come up from the South Island. And this boat, they've adjusted the intake on this particular boat. And now they have to adjust the boat around the amount of water that comes through the intake. And that's an interesting line. He was right on it then. As soon as that green went, he just reefed it to the right and hooked into it. And this is looking like a pretty tidy start to this run. How is he going to go? Coming around the PSP Island there now. Into the right-hander. Split by Lennox and Suzuki. Into the hairpin. Got it bogged down a little bit. You heard the change of engine noise. Oh, he's got it all sideways. Was too late. Nearly stuck it up on NZ Island. Getting back on it now. Oh, get right off it coming through there. Probably a smart move, realising the amount of time he lost. Don't need to keep pushing. Oh, the boat all over the place. Oh, he was lucky to hang on to that. And Cy Gibbon with
39.705. 39.705. So another good run there. Number of crews posting these times under the 40-second mark, which they'll all be happy enough about, but still, that's pretty wild.
Oh, look, there's so much to smooth up through there. But, yeah, that was a wild ride, but still passed at a reasonably fast time. Warren Farr now in the Hustler. And have a look at the way Warren goes about it. Very smooth driver. Have a look at the speed and the acceleration as this boat goes right up into the top corner. This left around Mouthfresh. Lost him in the spray as we do every single time around NZ. I'll tell you, Warren Farr is going really well at the moment. Have a look at the navigator, Ben Thomas. We call him Gorilla Arms. He's got his arms hanging so far out of the bow of that boat. I'm surprised. I reckon they've stretched his arm by an extra foot. Oh, no. Oh. Warren Farr was too late coming into that little channel.
I tell you what, Cavey, there's so much of a washing machine effect going out there that these boats are having hell in the middle of the course. And just where Warren Farr's boat is now, there's a lot of boats hitting the bank over there. Give them a big round of support, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
This is a really, really tricky track. And that washing machine effect up the end of it is really costing them some confidence in our track. They're really a little worried about it, actually. So they're going to have to keep an eye on what's going on down here.
39.178 as well. A superb time, wasn't it? Good time.
Yeah, look, and it'll be interesting to see once we come to the final, because obviously a lot of these guys and girls are really starting to push a lot harder now. But the boats are just really getting so caught up. And when I spoke to Tim Edhouse from Liquid Addiction earlier, he said, if you don't pick the right line in the middle part of the track and you go out just 6 inches wider, it is creating a different pressure wave when you come through there again to what you really want. So everything becomes unexpected. And we've seen as the boats are going across Altherm and splitting NZ and Mouthfresh going to the far side of the track or the hill side of the track, that the boats are really coming loose and the jet unit, the intake, isn't sucking the boats onto the water. So as soon as that's happening, we're likely to see, come finals time, a few boats up onto the hillside of the track.
Here's a local team now, Neil Marshall and Michelle Reed from New Plymouth. Eagle Automotive, 650 horsepower in this brand new package. This boat has the amazing ability to do exactly what Kavey said, and that is stay down in the water and get round the track as quick as it can. Nice lines, probably a little slow and off the top, and really bogged down around the top end of that island. And yeah, just not quite looking that package that it looked a couple of 3 weeks ago, Kavey.
Yeah, I did speak to Baden, and they've managed to damage a front blade here. Oh, he's gone wrong way, and I don't know what he was doing there, but yeah, Baden Gray just not having a great day. They actually blew a front blade. They destroyed it, so that'll cause a lot of problems. I'm not too sure what they picked up, but obviously there was something that caused the problem. So not too sure where they're at now. Looks like they're back on track at the moment. Oh, he's really late around there and just gently parks it up on the island, and that will possibly require a rescue as our rescue crew go down there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Baden Gray, parked it up nice and gently.
Yeah, my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I said it's Neil Marshall. I really apologise for that.
Kids, if we could just ask you to move away from the fence area, please. That area is designed to catch a boat. However, we do want you at least half a dozen feet back. If you don't know what feet are, look to the bottom of your legs. That's where they are. 6 big steps back from there. And that would be fantastic if we could have you kids all standing back another 6 feet. That'd be great.
See, they're not really listening to you, Kavey.
No, I noticed that.
Is it just like what with your son?
Right, now children, back from the fence. Step away from the fence. No, it's really not working. They are not listening at all.
All right.
Children these days, I don't know this new generation.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you probably can't see it down here, but I'm watching the Joker. Now, the Joker's got a hell of a lot of oil coming out the back of the jet unit there, sitting down, warming themselves up, and there's a screwdriver or two getting worked on here, and there's all sorts of stuff going on down here in the pit. There's a big oil slick just out there right behind that boat, and I'm not 100% sure that it's going to actually come off the trailer as well. As I said earlier on, that was my mistake there when it said it was Marshall's. In fact, and it wasn't them at all. We apologise for that. But Andy Ryan and Carrie Ann Allen are due to come off the trailer any minute now. But there's, as I said, there's a fair bit of a slick down the back of there, Kavey.
Well, I reckon, gee, that little bit of an oil slick down there. Geez, look out, we might have the greenies down here.
Yeah, no kidding, but they're off onto the track.
I do enjoy, we always got to look after the environment, but I think half the time the greenies, the best thing they could do to help the environment is to have a bath.
No kidding. If you're going to leave a big carbon footprint, you may as well leave a really big bugger. Let's go to Andy Ryan and Carrie Ann Allen from Wellington, 412 cubic inch start engine. And these guys have really impressed us as how well they've improved over the last 3 years, as we said earlier on. But they've done a really good job of working this track out today, and I think they're probably going to find themselves in some elimination rounds later on. Oh, they've got a real problem there, losing pressure, and they put their hands up. They've obviously got a fair bit of something stuck in the back of the jet unit there, and not going to be able to get going. So they'll get back on the trailer, get themselves back on the trailer and get that sorted out, and we'll back down. I see Neil Marshall and Michelle Reed backing in now, and but it looks like it's going to be 222. That is, of course, the Rick Burt Alf Kill boat.
Yeah, 222. Look, these guys, as we said, they are the reigning world champions in the Group A, only crowned recently up there at Taranaki. And so, yeah, these guys, great blokes to hang out with. And like we said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, get up to the Bridge Hotel up there and get a free barbecue after around about 6 o'clock and meet all the racers and the teams and get up there and enjoy a few beers and a few laughs. I think they're even putting a DJ on. Are you doing the DJ work there, Jace?
No, I won't be doing the DJ, so you might have to step in, mate. Been playing some pretty super, particularly the
mate.
Rum and Coca-Cola song.
Oh, I'll tell you
bring
what,
that
mate,
one out.
I am like a disc jockey extraordinaire, and I'll tell you what, it works well when you're tone deaf too.
All right, we'll go down to Rick Burt and Alf Kill. These guys are the reigning world champions, the UIM 2016 world champions, to be precise, as they head around the track. Now, this is growing great. This is a dry sump engine, which puts out a lot more horsepower than perhaps a wet sump engine does. And so they've got it teed in and keyed in and doing really, really well.
Wow, he's a bit late around there, but got around there A-OK. Rick Burke really doing a good job at the moment. Coming through the middle, straight down the... Oh, I'll tell you what, they left that a little bit late. That could... Oh, got unstuck there. A little bit of a popular spurt. Back off the accelerator. Lined it up, got it across the crosswash. Now in the run for the line, Rick
Very
Burke with
good.
37.848.
Outstanding stuff.
Well, thank you for your applause and appreciation. They'll look up in the crowd and know that they've done well with that. 37, that's a great time. And we've still got a lot more to come.
Oh, I tell you, I am just pumped. Like, this is qualifying for. We haven't even got to the finals yet, and we're seeing times like that. I just love this sport. You've just got to love it. You cannot not be excited by being here. And this young man, Blake Bryant from Gisborne, Kate Hugenbrug, he's doing the navigational duties. This boat, well, actually, a previous predecessor of this boat blew up in a big fireball at Bay Park less than a month ago. Brand new package. In qualifying's round 1 and 2, they got the track direction completely all over the place. Have a look at how smooth Blake Bryant is. Just have a look as he comes into this hairpin. Fantastic. The boat didn't stutter, it didn't stop, it didn't get bogged down. And that is where he's going to make some time. Surprisingly, porpoises a little bit about the top part of the track there. And probably not as smooth as we have seen Blake. Now he'll open it up down the back chute and in the run for the line. Blake Bryant, 37.067.
Well, there you are. Once again, Blake Bryant lays down the gauntlet for all those that follow. And Kate Hugenbrug there. Amazing that they've been able to put such a great package together in such a short time, as they had that big crash where they wrecked the hull up there in Bay Park a couple of 3 weeks back. But those are the guys to watch right there now as we go back to the Ting Tools boat in front of us. Bevan Muir and Kathy Muir. They come to us from Thames Toyota, and they've had New Zealand championships all over the place over their career. 600 horsepower now. Now, they had a bit of trouble earlier on before they even got on the water, because Richard Murray almost took them out of the action, parking his boat next to them as he crashed, but they've not letting that worry them as they come around the Suzuki Island right now. Hard up to around the Altherm and around the top end now. Now here's the rough bit of water coming up to them right here in front of us as we get a little wild. They kept it good. Oh, bit of bounce, but they managed to get through that. Hard around the outside. Let's take a look at their final time. We've got a time of 39.818. Give them a hand too, 39.818. All right, so now we go to Neil Marshall and Michelle Reid. Sorry about that mistake we had before in our commentary. Totally my fault. 406 cubic inch Chevy with 650 horsepower. Local team, Eagle Automotive, R. Adamson Contracting, Marsh Motorsport doing the job.
Rightio, here we go, Naki fans. It is time to get in behind your hometown heroes. The crew from New Plymouth, and looking to get underway and really put down a solid time. I've had a couple of teething problems so far this morning, but so far in this fourth qualifying round, they're looking pretty sharp, aren't they? You can see that that boat is currently sitting pretty nicely in the water. All boats are jumping around the top. Oh, he's gone the wrong way. He really was on for a nice looking rotation there, and he's just got lost. He should have cut in to come around and unfortunately gone the wrong way. There he goes. He's back on track now. Coming around the outside down to Mouth Thresh and over the line. Oh, he'll be absolutely spewing with that because he was having a very, very good run up until that one little mistake. And of course that well and truly has cost him time there of 48 7.36. So hard luck for Neil Marshall there. It really looked like they were onto a superb lap, and then just that error cost them dearly.
Oh, Leighton would have to be pretty happy with his crowd.
This is the 72 machine.
All right, here we are. Off the line we go. Andy Ryan now. They've got that, and Kerry Ann Allen. They've got the Joker sorted out with its problems on the track, and he stuck it in a little bit deep there around Mouthfresh. Gets himself up around the outside now, starting to build that wash effect up. I don't know where he's going. He's going nowhere with a run like this, as we needed to come around here now in front of me. Hard around the Suzuki corner. Obviously the problems that were experienced earlier on have stuffed up the top 2 inches for him, and he hasn't quite got it right. Now he comes back through that dirty water and hard right-hander. Oh, dirt coming out the back of the unit. He's going to be lucky to get home with this as we come through the final stages. Once again, he did everything but throw up out there, a 49.708, and just about parked it up at the end of it too, 49.708. Boy, oh boy, they were lucky to get around there, Jason. I thought that we were going to see them parked up.
Mate, how wild are these machines? I just...
Well, yeah, they're as wild as they're driven, to be honest. So, Group A, Andy Ryan there, looks like he just about finishes it off. Okay, no, we're still waiting for a couple more Group A's, and but I do see the super boats coming down here beside me. Sam Newdick still to run in Group A. And I believe Ollie Silverton's still to come as well. He had trouble. Yep. Yeah, good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're just watching the Methanex methanol sucking super boats coming down onto the ramp at the moment. And for those of you that are uninitiated, you'll see some of the boats doing a little bit more time around the islands. Now, what's happened is they've actually got the track rotation wrong. So what they have to do is actually come back to where they went wrong, and then they are allowed to rejoin the course to be able to post a time. So some of these navigational errors, you will see them doing a few more laps. What that does is just put a lot more time on the clock for them, but then they do post a time at the end of it. So if you're sort of sitting there thinking, well, that bloke's just done 4 laps around that island, that's what's going on. Yeah, there's also mass confusion too, isn't there? I mean, once you go wrong out there, they all start looking the same, those islands, really, and it's all happening that quick. You got to try and rethink and reboot, and it doesn't really happen that easy. Well, that's right. We saw Neil Marshall in the Eagle automotive vessel before. It's just that slight indecision, and he managed to get away with it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. So, look, it is such a quick sport. And when you're out there, like on a racetrack, on a tarmac track, you've got a lot more area to run off, and if the car slides, for example, you've got a bit more time to catch it. Out here, you do not have that time because things happen quicker on water than they do on tarmac. And these guys and girls sit very, very low in the boat, so their eye level is he's not far off actual water level, if you like. And of course, everything just comes to you so much quicker that way. And you're seeing that it's fairly unforgiving, so you have to be pinpoint accurate or centimetre perfect. All right, just 2 Group A boats left to go before we get into the super boats. However, you might find a super boat pops up into the mix, but here we go now. Sam Newdick is our competitor out there right now, backing into the water. And, well, old Glenn Mason doing the navigation for him. 600 horsepower here, and Scott 8.5 inches from Hamilton and Gisborne, respectively. KV, this boat, Sun Tough boat, the PSP boat, of course, they're our national sponsors of jet sprinting. But they've got a couple of really great boats down here on the water that are right at the top of the game at the moment. Oh, absolutely. And look,
These guys have been around for a while, and of course Sam Newdick and Glenn Mason wear the coveted New Zealand #1 badge, and they have done for the last couple of years. Had a little bit of misfortune at the World Series, but still found themselves in second place in the world, so they're absolutely wrapped with the way it went. Have a look at the way Sam Newdick drives. It is just smooth. These guys leave no stone unturned when it comes to boat preparation, boat development, boat handling. And Sam Newdick is just a picture of concentration. He's a nice bloke from Hamilton. He's always got a smile on his dial. Into that crosswash, and it didn't seem to unsettle that boat while a few boats just hammering through that. Ooh. And there's a time of 36.957.
Holy.
Electric stuff there. Great run from Sam.
Boy, oh boy.
That's quick, mate. It's got to put him right up there. Right up there to the top of the tree, I'd say. Yeah, 36.
Well, here is the next.
957.
Here's the next boat in. It is also sponsored by PSP. Ollie Silverton and Jess Sitt. They had a bit of trouble earlier on. They got back onto the trailer. But once again, another new package of boat out here for this driver. And in the last round, they just amazed me as to how quick they were. Ollie Silverton and Jess Sitt.
Ollie Silverton has just got the bit between the teeth. His partner in crime, the garage partner, his seat partner, Sam Newdick, laid one down. And Ollie Silverton has said, you know what, I'm sick of it being up to you, Blake Bryant and Rick Burke, so I'm going to throw my hat in the ring as well. It's a brand new package, less than a month old, and it looks as though Ollie Silverton really has his head in the game. Just so super aggressive. And Ollie, 36.605.
Oh, the top of the leaderboard changing all the time. What a great job.
Ollie Silverton to the top. Sam Newdick in 2 and Blake Bryan in 3 after qualifying round 4. And that is just an amazing run. Good to see Ollie Silverton so aggressive.
Ollie Silverton's found his mojo here today at Waitara. But boy, oh boy, he's been sort of in the middle of the pack all season, but that brand new package of his, he's just found himself a whole lot of new gears.
Oh, he certainly has.